everyone. So, today we're going to talk about international trade stakeholders. International trade is different identity and stakeholders is different. International trade usually we call it as a trade when it's done between two countries, from one countries to another. And stakeholders are the people or the group of people that having direct or indirect benefit from that trade or obligation from that trade. So usually they have the stake in the trade, and the stake you can name as their role, the part, they are the part of the international trade. As I mentioned here, stakeholders are the group according to the types of service they provide or their responsibilities. And here are different kinds of uh, stakeholders: commercial transaction participants, government and regulatory agents, shipping and transportation provider, and financial organizations. So when we're talking about commercial transaction participants, in commercial transaction participants, there are five different types of stakeholders. There can be more, but usually for international trade, there are five, and those are exporters, importer, agent, trading house, and legal counsel. Exporter is the person who is exporting goods to another country, and he is directly involved in the international trade. That's why he's the stakeholder. Importer, who is importing goods from another country, is also involved. Agent can be a single person or a group of person or an organization that is helping importer or exporter to make them a successful trade. So usually they hire, like you can say, they hire marketing company, or they hire a third party logistics, something like that. So they are directly involved with the international trade, and they are the stakeholders. Trading houses. Trading houses usually organization, or you can say the professionals who help companies to make a trade to another country. So I will give you an example. For example, you wants to trade to Canada from China, and as we know that to trade to Canada from China is not easy, and usually the trade done to Canada is happen from US. So the trading house is US, importer is in Canada, and exporter is in China. So what trading house gonna do? They're gonna buy the goods from exporter from China, and then they're gonna take the rights, they're gonna take the ownership, and then they're gonna export from US to Canada. So they are, you can say, intermediaries working in international trade. Then the legal counsel. Legal counsel you can name as a lawyer or professional in legal that helping importer exporter, or usually helping international trade to be a legal and to be a transparent. So he's the person directly involved in international trade, so he's the stakeholder as well. Then the government regulatory agent, if you can understand by their name, then these are the body that working to help international trade be more transparent and to be beneficial for both countries. Now this part comes to the countries. When government involvement is happen, then it's usually happen to protect their country. So the government have custom and border security agencies. These are the agency that investigate or that sees everything that is comes to the country. Their responsibility is to verify what is mentioned on the paper. Those are only the goods that's coming. So they usually do the cross check. They verify the goods whether they are legal for the country, or if they are legal then they seize the goods. So they work on the grounds. Usually they are on the borders. So in the case of international trade, they are on three different area. I will say it later, but yeah, they are work on three different area. Road, they have the road, custom border agencies. They have the port, you can say seaport, where sea comes. They also have on the airport as well. Then government department and regulatory agencies. These agencies you can name as the food agency, for example, in a country. Their responsibility is to verify the food that is coming to the country. Is it uh, according to the country standard or not? It is legal to enter into the country or not? It gonna harm everything? They're gonna verify. So like that, there are different bodies, but they work with the government to make sure the goods is coming into the country is good enough for the country or not. Then the inspectors, they they work with custom and border security agencies, and their responsibility is to give or give approval to the good that it can pass to into the country, and they also give the license of approval to the goods. So they are also directly involved with the international trade, and that's why they are the stakeholders. Then shipping and transportation providers. Without them, international trade is not possible. That's why they are the stakeholder. They have the stake, they have the benefit, and there are three different, but there can be more. But main are these carriers is who gonna help the exporter or importer to do the movement of the good from one place to another. Carriers and carriers that can be sea, land, and air. Then the freight forwarders. These are the group of people or professionals that help company in their documentation, in the packaging, you can say packaging as well, or different things like labeling. These are the information those people having. So usually they work closely with the exporter or as well importer in also in finding route or which kind of transportation is gonna be good, or which carrier they should use, what container, everything is provided by freight forwarders. Then the custom brokers, they are, you can say, the big identity who started working before even the international trade gonna happen. They are the professional who help companies to 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 get every information that gonna required in the international trade. You can say in finance as we have CPA, CA, CFA. They are also the professional who help companies to find the best investment strategy or the opportunity. So custom worker also work with the companies to find the best opportunity, lowest rate, you can say the best country, best supplier, everything is happen. It's helped by custom brokers. Then comes to the financial organizations, banks and other financial organization. Banks is also the part as a stakeholder in international trade because they provide guarantee, letter of credit that are required, different kind of financial source or also the funding that is required in international trade. Then come to the export credit agencies. They are really important body or the organization. For example, in Canada, we have Export Development of Canada. That is the agency that work along with the government and also along with different private companies. Basically they are formed to help companies to export from their export goods to another country. Even they help as well in import, but they help to find supplier in another country, to to find source for funding, to find a reliable source of, you can say, documentation or legal aspect, everything they help. They work usually as, you can say, the assistant, you can say, or they usually work very closely with the companies to make sure that whatever they're doing is happening in a legal way. So they take advice usually. and they provide different service as well, but they usually help companies to get funding from big banks, you can say big financial organizations. Then insurance agency. When international trade name comes, you need to understand that insurance is really important. You can't import goods from one place to another for, you can say, 20,000 kilometers, 10,000 kilometers without having insurance. So insurance is really important. I don't think even nowadays any trade is happening without insurance. So insurance is important. Then insurance agency, that's it. Definitely they are a stakeholder because they are involved in the trade. Then security and bond companies, they provide securities and bonds to finance or to give assurance to the uh, exporter or importer, any of the bodies. So basically they help in finance to to finance the international trade either to the importer or exporter. So as we study here, all four different kinds of stakeholder, and they directly involve with international trade or indirectly somewhere in the international trade, and that's why they are the stakeholder. I hope you get a little idea. I'm not gonna make sure that, like, I'm not saying that you may be having 100% cleared it out, but if you have any, please mention in the comments. I will be very happy to help you. Thank you again.